Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
I'm pretty excited about this interview, Dan. For over 40 years, Hosea Feed the Hungry has been feeding and helping people in Atlanta restabilizing their lives. And we happen to have the COO of what's going on there, Famo Omilami. He is the son-in-law of Hosea Williams. Famo, how are you?
All is well this morning. Thank you, my friends, for having us. This is a special time, so thank you for it.
Thanks for being on the show with us. We are live on Facebook and YouTube and on the radio. I know it's a little surprised because you guys weren't ready for the video, but you look amazing.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you. I
Well,
appreciate it.
Let's talk a little bit. I'd like just to touch on a little bit about what's been going on for over 40 years now. Hosea put together with his team Feeding the Hungry of Atlanta on special occasions, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Martin Luther King Day, and Easter. What an impact over 40 years. You guys are continuing that vision and doing it so well. In just a second, we'll talk about what's going on the 12th here pretty soon. Let me ask you this question. What is your fondest memory, you think, of Hosea, and maybe personally or, feeding Atlanta?
Well, I first met him in, believe it or not, it was 1975 when I personally first met him. And I was a student over in the AU Center, and I heard about him doing these feedings for the poor and for the needy in the community there. And as a student, they encouraged us to go and volunteer. And lo and behold, I was just taken aback by this dynamic personality. And who knows, 2 years later, I was marrying his daughter, which I'm not sure he ever
he didn't bargain on that part, did he?
To go that way, right?
All right. I got to ask this question, and then we'll move on. What was the closing deal for Elizabeth that she said yes?
I guess I pledged allegiance to the great Hosea Williams.
Well said.
I was going to say it was your dashing good looks and your charm.
Yeah, right. No, he wanted us actors to get a job. My wife and I both, we were actors back then. And, he said, "Man, y'all need a regular job." Okay?
That's awesome.
That is so funny.
Oh, man.
We love talking
to you. Remember him and love him, and thank God for him.
Yeah, he left quite an impact, his fingerprint on the hearts and souls of so many people. Thank you, you guys, all of you. You're the COO, and Elizabeth is the CEO there, and thank you for continuing on because the poor and needy need fed and need taken care of. Let's talk a little bit about the Back to School Jamboree coming up on the 12th. It's going to be at the Georgia World Congress Center. Tell us about that. Now, it's been going on now for 15 years. Tell us how it all began, if you will.
Well, I was in LA and I heard of an event where this one lady said she saw the need for kids in LA to have what they need to go back to school. So on her own, she started this back to school movement in LA. And I was so impressed by it. When I came back, I said, "Hey, darling, I think we need to consider doing a back to school event for our kids here." I saw a lady in LA and how she did it. So I brought the idea back here to Atlanta and we started doing it. And it just grew and grew and grew like everything else because the need continues to grow. Even in a situation that we're in, virtual school, some kids back to school, face to face. Either way, they're going to need all the things that make school work for them, the materials, the information. So nothing has really changed, even with COVID.
So talk about what you guys will be doing at the Back to School Jamboree. What kind of things can these families get while they're there?
Okay, it's going to be September 12th, 10 to 3 at the Georgia International Convention Center. Now, some people think the World Congress Center, but no, we're going to be out there by the airport at the Georgia International Convention Center in their new space called the Arena. but it will be outside. It'll be a drive-through because we're trying to protect them and protect us and our volunteers as well. They'll line up, and they'll be able to get, of course, food, produce. They're going to get brand new sneakers for school, book bags full of everything that they'll need to go back to school. We have information on COVID, information on our SNAP programs. We'll be signing people up for those who want information on voter registration. Somebody will be there representing voter registration, giving people information on our new program with United Way. There'll be information about that. So we're just going to do a basic drive-through, but by the time they get out of there, their car is going to be loaded.
You're gonna load them up.
We're gonna load them up.
Love that. Afemo Omilami, COO of Hosea Feed the Hungry. Afemo, you've been doing this for now 15 years, and no doubt it's just grown and grown and grown. And I know there are probably always more needs than you have stuff resources, and we want folks to help you guys out in many ways. What do you think has touched your heart in this over the years, seeing families and kids taken care of? Do you have a story maybe?
Yes. You know, when you help families, you find, say, for example, we found several families over the years living in their cars. The mom and the kids, and your heart is broken because you know this is not how this should be. So what we end up doing is taking them out that car, finding housing for them, but also giving the kids everything they need to pursue their education, because without that, they're going to be stuck. And we know education is still the way out for people all over this world, especially here in Atlanta as well. So we take these families and we make a complete transformation. And that is one of the greatest satisfactions I have personally have ever had being a part of Hosea, is seeing people given a chance to claim their lives back. But we can't do it on our own. We need help. Hosea Williams taught us that, the way the movement, what he learned from the movement. The movement was a coalition of people of like minds coming together for that single purpose of fighting for our freedom. It's the same here with serving people in our community, the least of these. It takes a whole village. So we have collaborations and partnerships with over 40 other organizations and ministries. And it takes all of us to do this work. Now, this year is a special because it's dedicated to Sequoia Turner, the young girl who got killed July 4th. And it broke Mrs. O's heart. It broke my heart. And we said, we must do something about this. So we started having prayer vigils, calling leaders and ministers and everyday community activists all over the city. And we started having them at City Hall. And just breaking the hearts of the people over the senseless violence that's taken the lives over several hundred kids across our nation. And we can't accept this. So we dedicated this to Sequoia Turner. Her family will be there that morning of September 12th. And we want them to know we're with them and we're believing for justice for Sequoia.
Love that.
That's a really cool thing about Hosea is it's not just feeding the hungry. I mean, that's obviously a very important part of it, but not only feeding, but you're equipping them to get out of the life of homelessness or poverty.
We have to. That was Dr. King's vision. He never wanted people to continue to be on generations of welfare. Hosea Williams definitely didn't believe in that. He wanted people to have a chance to be business people, to have what they need. So he was always trying to empower them to move beyond where they were stuck, because that's what it was about. Many people just feel like, I'm stuck. How can I get out of this? Right. And then we come along and say, well, we can help you do this. Then we point them to another organization that can help them do that. Then another organization said, well, we'll do this part for you. And
Mm.
before you know it, they have their power back, and they are contributing citizens for the good of our community. That's all we ever wanted, the beloved community where people have their lives back. And what better way to do this in the memory of Dr. King is to carry on this legacy of Hosea Williams, who got it from Dr. King. After he died, Hosea Williams saw a man eating out of the garbage can and said, wait a minute, Dr. King didn't die for this. So he started feeding people. So this year we're celebrating actually 50 years.
Wow.
50 years of Hosea Feed the Hungry and Homeless, which is Hosea Helps now. So you see, it never stops. It keeps growing and growing.
Love that. Afemo Omilami, COO of Hosea Helps. We love what they're doing. If you'd like to help them, the number 4, hosea.org/back-to-school. Back-to-school Jamboree drive-through for safety there, September the 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's at the Georgia International Congress Center. Is that right, Afemo?
That is correct, sir.
We sure do appreciate your time. Blessings to you and Mrs. O, and we'd love to talk to you again sometimes. God's blessings to you.
Thank you. We will be doing our big events for the, for the coming holiday season. So I hope to talk to you again about how we're going to do Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're going to create a whole new model of how it can be done. So we can't have a large gathering, but we're still going to have a big feeding operation going on. I can tell you that right now.
Very cool.
We appreciate what you do. We love you guys. Hey, we got to take a break. We will be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.